Good morning, writers. Today is April 29th, 2020. Today we will be doing our lesson number 4 in persuasive writing. Our lesson objective is, I can draft an opinion piece in which I introduce the topic I am writing about and supply reasons for the opinion. But first, a quick warm-up. I'll give you 30 seconds to circle the capital letters and punctuation marks in the first 2-letter greetings. Then fix the last greeting. Ready? Go. And stop. All right, writers, let's go ahead and check. So the first greeting says, Dear Brandon. What capital letters did you see? Yes, there's a capital D for dear because it's the beginning of the greeting. And there's a capital B in Brandon because it's a name. We also see a comma at the end of the greeting. Let's look at the second greeting. Dear Mom. What capital letters do you see? Yes, we see a capital D for dear because it's the beginning of the greeting again. And we see a capital M in mom because we are addressing this person. We see a comma after mom. Now look at the sentence or the greeting that you were fixing. Dear Jenny. Ooh, I noticed that deer, it's spelled with double E, which means it's referring to the animal, not to the greeting in a letter. And I also noticed that there is no comma after the name Jenny. Therefore, I should see that you wrote Dear Jenny, D with a capital, E-A in the middle of the word dear, in order for it to be the greeting and not the animal. And then Jenny would be followed by a comma. Awesome job, writers. Our focus today is in the introduction of our letters. Let's take a quick look at the example letter that we had. So we learned that a letter must have a date, a greeting, an introduction, and then we go on to reasons in the body of our letter, as well as at the end we have a conclusion and then our closing. Today our focus will be in the introduction. For this letter, it says, Dear Jamie, I am writing to you because I think that you should try hula hooping. That's the introduction for this letter. Then it moves on to the reasons. First, and so on. Today our focus will be only in the introduction. We want to make sure that we have an introduction that catches our reader's attention. This is the letter I wrote. Today, as I mentioned, I'm going to think about the introduction. I will be asking myself, how can I make it better? Is it catching my reader's attention? Does it tell my friend why I'm writing to her? Let's go ahead and read it. This right here is my introduction. So I said, Dear Noemi, I am writing to you because I think you should try hiking once we can go out. Now let me think. Am I telling her why I'm writing to her? Yes, I'm letting her know that I want her to try hiking. But I also want to make sure that I think, is it interesting? Am I doing it in a way that it's going to make her read my letter? How can I make it better? Remember, there's always ways we can make it better. In my case, I was thinking that I would say, Dear Noemi, but I thought I would ask her a question. to make it a little bit more interesting and make her want to read the letter. So it says, Dear Noemi, have you ever gone on a hike? You have not? Well, I am writing to let you know you should really try it. I think you would enjoy it quite a bit. You get to see birds and plants. It is very relaxing, and you can take Fernanda with you. Now let's look at what I did. In order to make it more interesting to my reader, to Noemi, I went ahead and I asked her a question. Have you ever gone on a hike? And then I guessed what she would answer. Since we are friends, I know she hasn't. So I went ahead and said, you have not? Right? That way, even if she did, she's already like thinking, but wait, I have. Or maybe I haven't. So then she wants to continue reading the letter. Then I go ahead and tell her why I'm writing, right? Just like I did on the previous one. Well, I am writing to let you know you should really try it. But instead of just telling her why I'm writing, I try to make it interesting for her by asking her a question in my introduction. This is something that you can try with your own letter. Then I didn't stop there. I went ahead and told her the 3 reasons why she should try it. I did this in my introduction. Later on in the body of the letter, I will go ahead and tell her about each and every single reason why she should try it. But here in my introduction, I just went ahead and listed all 3 of them for her so she could get curious about why she should try it. And that way, she continues reading the letter because she's hooked. So let me go ahead and read it one more time. I said, Dear Noemi, have you ever gone on a hike? You have not? Well, I'm writing to let you know you should really try it. I think you would enjoy it quite a bit. You get to see birds and plants. It is very relaxing, and you can take Fernanda with you. That right there, boys and girls, is my introduction. So today, I want you to take out the letter that you wrote. And if you wrote more than one letter, that's even better. You could go back and read all of them, but only focus on your introduction for today. Read the introduction of your letter or letters and think, how can you make it better? How can you catch your reader's attention? How can you make sure that your friend or a family member that you're sending the letter to really wants to finish reading it? So now it's your turn. Take out those letters, go back and read them very carefully. And as you're reading them, think about your introduction. You could even go ahead and circle it like I did. I circled the introduction so that I know what part of my letter I'm focusing today. And then I asked myself these 3 questions. I asked, how can I make my introduction better? Right? So you want to make sure you ask yourself, how can you make your introduction better? Then I thought to myself, is it catching my reader's attention? Is it interesting? Then I asked myself, is it interesting for my reader? Is it catching her attention? Right? So I noticed that I was really to the point of like, I'm writing to let you know that you should try hiking. There's nothing wrong with it. That's a perfectly well introduction, but I want to make it interesting for my reader. So I went ahead and added a question, right? Have you ever gone hiking? So when you're reading yours, think about it. Is it catching your reader's attention? And then last, you want to ask yourself, did you tell your friend why you are writing to them? I think most of us did. So since we already did that, all we need to do is go back and tweak it a little bit, add something to make it interesting for our friends. Okay? So go ahead, give it a try. And when you're done, go ahead and send me what you have. I can't wait to read your letters. All right, writers. See you soon. Bye-bye.